This is your 2021 BMW 5 Series mid-cycle refresh for the 2021 model year and 7th generation, so it's been around since 1972. Let's take a look at our Quirks, Perks, and Irks. Specifically, this is the 540i. So, kidney grille, longer, wider, active grille shutters. Active grille shutters are not new, but the longer, wider parts are a little more sculpted as far as the front end goes. I like the move. It's not overly aggressive, but just aggressive enough to make it stand out. Taking a look at the passenger side, you have the new LED day runner shape. It's not the U, it's now an L LED daylights, or regular lights and high beams, but I really like the way this looks. Taking a look at the driver's side, the turn signal is integrated into the exterior daytime running light. Looks really, really sharp, and I like that it's on the corner, and you also have it integrated into your side mirror. Just a really, really overall strong look for the 5 Series. It's kind of the dark horse as far as popularity for BMW models go. You go 3 Series or you go for an SUV, but the 5 Series to me, absolute favorite series. Here's my Irk. I don't like the rims. They're too busy. They hide the red M brake caliper, and it just looks really complicated to me. Give me a clean 5-spoke rim any day of the week, and I feel it look a lot better suited for it. As mentioned, it turn signals into your side mirrors. Nice long strip so you get it from the front and as well as on the side, so it looks really, really nice. I love these. Just the door handles are they're so responsive, and it's not like you've got to push down really hard to lock it. Just a gentle pass across and the door locks, and it's really, really smart technology. Taking a look at the rear, you get your 3D tail lights. It may not look like much from here. We get a little closer, just a better look at it. And it just has this cool shape, and I think it's a really smart move by BMW. Really subtle move, but still a really sharp move. Taking a look at the rear, let me back up. You get your twin tailpipes, nice clean look around the rear. X-Drive on your left, 540i on the right. I'm gonna kick my foot underneath here. Up goes the trunk. There is your cargo space, 40, 20, 40 for your split. So you put your skis, snowboard, a little bit of storage down there, and a little cargo net here. Starting with the rear seats of the 540i, I sit all the way up, I sit all the way back, and when I get in, there is lots of room for my feet. Just get myself all the way in. There are rear climate controls, optional heated rear seats back here, plus a couple of USB ports, a little bit of storage, like, I don't know, like part of my hand's worth, and it's angled down a bit, and plus it's got a ridged bottom, so things will generally stay in place. Seats are pretty comfortable back here, and at least, well, the outboard passengers, that poor middle passenger has to deal with that, but seating for 4 is good. And over my shoulder, if that's what you're looking, that's what you're going to see. Looks, again, very typical BMW, typical 5 Series, nicely done, and just nice, clean, and aesthetic design lines. You have your manual sunshades, one for the small window back here, and one for the main one, and you can see it is up on the passenger side, and there it is. Now, the cool thing here, seat belts, they have a little M pattern on them, part of an upgrade, and that's going to wrap up the rear seats. Let's take a look up front. That's what you're going to see every time you get in, and it's a clean, classic look. Maybe not classic yet, but we're getting there. All right, so a couple of things. I really, really like the inside of the door panel. Mostly black, a little bit of light stitching to contrast it, but it looks so just elegant and sharp. I really, really like it. So before I fully close the door, memory seats are kind of tucked away here. You can still see it, but I'm used to them being up here in a little cleaner line of sight. So not really a perk, not really an irk, just kind of a quirk. So there's a reason that I've kept something in the car. I usually keep my cars clean for videos. So I'm going to do that right now. Yes, you can put it here, but then it gets in the way of that. Yes, you can put it here, but then it kind of gets in the way of that, as well as your phone if you're using the optional wireless charger. So a refillable water bottle fits perfectly in that door cup holder. Love it. Just nice out of the way. Yes, it's on an angle, but this has a secure lid, so we're good. 12.3-inch digital dashboard. Typical BMW steering wheel, no complaints here. It is the M steering wheel, part of the paid upgrade option as well. Larger infotainment system, 12.3 inches, so it matches the dashboard. Yes, the iDrive is there, and it is just so easy to use, and it's, I think, one of my top 3 favorite infotainment systems in the modern vehicle industry. And there's so much you can do. You can change the interior lights and on and on and on, and your safety and all that. So that's that. Standard stuff here, you got your vents, you got your HVAC system, paid option, or paid upgrade, sorry, for ceramic controls. I don't necessarily know I'd go for that, but that's okay. This was an irk when I first got in the car. Give me hard touch buttons, but it does work with your gloves on, and they're spaced out just enough. And there's also little dips in here as well. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dip there, and there's a dip there, and there's a dip there. You can see just how responsive it is. Like, every time I pass my finger over it. So this is me pushing down really hard, and this is me pushing down very lightly. And again, everything just does its thing. That's weird how you can put heated and cooled seats on at the same time. It's a very weird sensation, I will tell you that much. Wireless charging cup holders, you don't want people to see. Just close her up. Standard gear shifter. I've always liked this party trick. So if you're in, manual mode and you hit P, it just goes over. I think it's kind of cool. Plenty of space in the center console here, and there's a USB port. So there's one here, there's two in the back, and we go back up here, and there's one right there. So lots of connectivity here in the 540i. You do get a little larger than normal sunroof. I'll slowly pan up to that for you. Normal sunroofs kind of stop at the front of the headrest, just like right there. And you can see just it goes back a little further. The seats. They may look pretty simple and plain, and the side bolsters may not look like much, thigh bolsters may not look like much, and they're okay, they're pretty secure, but it's the side bolsters that really make the difference, and you can adjust how much of them you want. And the top of the seat moves forwards and backwards. Really smart move there. I quite like that because, well, not everyone's built the same way. Let's take a look at that, which is your lumbar support. You can see that moving in. And yeah, just all sorts of different contours are available to find your ideal seating position. And of course, you have your thigh extender, which is right there. On the road with the 2021 BMW 540i. So under the hood, it's BMW's 3-liter inline-6 twin turbocharged engine, giving you 335 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque, all through the 8-speed automatic transmission. And yes, it's got the X-Drive, which is BMW's fancy speak for all-wheel drive. Now, the interesting thing here for 2021 is that we have that 48-volt mild hybrid, and there's a lot of benefits for that. And one of them is it can give you 11 extra horsepower as a boost from a dead stop. And you can recharge it through either maintaining a set speed or, and this is kind of a peculiar thing, it took me a couple of days to get used to, when you're hovering around, I don't know, like anywhere from like 12 kilometers and under as you're slowing down, the engine separates and your RPMs drop down to 0, and there's a little graphic at the bottom of the tach that says ready, and that means when it's all the way down there, that's your traditional start-stop being activated. So when you're at a stoplight and you put the brakes on and your auto start-stop is on, your revs just wipe out completely. And that's the same thing here. It's a bit of a weird sensation when you're driving, feeling the decoupling of the engine as you're still in motion. And because it does have the digital speedometer, you can see it's 12, 11, 10, 9, and all the way down to 0, while your tach is at the ready position. And it's a bit of a weird sensation. But on the plus side, it's really good for fuel consumption. The fact that you could pretty much take nice long road trips with this, and with the 48-volt mild hybrid, it also lengthens your time between filling up the gas tank. It's a good move, and if you're wondering if the intrusiveness is high between the engine shutting off and starting up again, minimal. I'd say if 100% is it's jarring and you feel your body shake, and 0% is just nothing, I'd say maybe 15%. Yes, you still feel a gentle nudge underneath your right foot as the engine comes back to life, but by no means is it loud or obnoxious or just uncomfortable at all. So blending that in with driving dynamics in the 5 Series, for me, it's my favorite BMW series. it's kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears in a weird way. You know, the 7 Series is too big. 3 Series it's not that it's too small, but for a little extra money to jump up from the 3 Series to the 5 Series, you're really getting a lot more value-wise and car-wise and comfort-wise. So for me, the 5 Series hits that sweet spot absolutely perfectly. It's such a smooth drive, and that's why I love the 5 Series so much. It just has this planted feeling, and it's such a smooth ride, and the power delivery is very linear and very minimal oversteer, very minimal understeer. You point it goes, it's quick, it's brisk. Yes, there's the 530e. I think that's got 255 horsepower, and then there's the M550i with monster power figures. And for me personally, what my needs are, I just want a car that looks good, feels good, drives incredibly well, is planted, low to the ground, nice connection with the road, plenty of technology, and just an effortless driving experience. And that's what I find with the 5 Series. On the fuel consumption side, in liters per 100 kilometers, we're at 10.3 on city streets, we're at 7.6 on the highway, and our blended total comes out to 9.1. All of this is through a 68-liter fuel tank. Minimum octane you got to put in is 89 according to the BMW Canada website. They suggest 91. If I owned a BMW 5 Series, specifically this one, with different rims and in black, I would absolutely put 91 in, because you want to put the best possible gas in. Sorry, 91 or higher, depending on what's available at the gas stations around me, because I would want it to run at its most optimal conditions, and putting the higher octane gas would do that. Now you throw in the mild hybrid system, and it's just amplified. And, you know, I mentioned I've got a little less than half a tank remaining, and I've got a little over 300 kilometers of range left. So again, to me, this is the sweet spot in the lineup, and this is, I think it's overlooked, and there's this fascination with the 3 Series. And if people want to go bigger, they're going to skip the 5 and go to the 7. But, you know, I will champion this 5 Series all day long, because again, for me, it's the right size, it's the right amount of power. You know, I don't need the M550i with those massive power numbers. You know, just give me something that is more than adequate, but not overkill, and I'm happy. And I would absolutely take this thing road tripping as much as possible. With the great fuel figures and the comfort and the mild hybrid system. There are some paid upgrades on this specific 540i that you may have noticed through the exterior and interior portion of the video. Some examples, so there's the premium enhanced pack, and with that, highlights are you get cooled seats and rear sunshades and the ceramic controls and the heads-up display, the wireless charging and heated front seats, heated rear seats. You get the performance package, which gets you the red brake calipers and the 20-inch wheels, dynamic damper controls, as well as the M steering wheel. So it depends on how you want to spice up your 5 Series, and if you want the bells and whistles, or if you just want straight driving pleasure out of it. And yeah, I know the active damper controls make a difference, and the wheel sizes make a difference, but I think even stripped down base model, and I feel bad using the word base model, just straight out of the box model for the 540i, with the inline 6, I think it would perform very, very well. Pleasantly surprised every time I get in, and whether I'm going to the grocery store or doing a longer drive, not to see anybody, we're in a pandemic, just doing a longer drive just for the sake of getting some outdoor time and kind of just clearing my head a little bit. It's such a comfortable ride, and the seating position, I barely had to make any adjustments. You know, usually I'm very finicky with how I sit, and it's got to be just the right position. But with the 540i, just all the way back, all the way up, tighten up the side bolsters just a little bit. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the review. Let me know if you've got any questions. I will do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to tell somebody about the channel if you think they might like what I do. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you on the next review.